Hello, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Girag Mihai, and if you've been tuning into this channel for some time, you know I'm focused on those small, high-impact health tactics, the easy adjustments that create powerful outcomes for men beyond the age of 50. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss vital health tips designed to keep your energy and masculinity thriving naturally. Today, we're exploring a daily habit, something many of you already enjoy, your morning tea. But we're not about to mention Earl Grey or green tea. We're going to explore what you might be skipping in that mug, the single enhancement that can flip a switch inside your body, awakening your metabolism, raising your energy, and offering a gentle yet undeniable boost to your libido and confidence. And here's the twist, the reason this video carries its particular title. The results may be so striking that your partner could begin noticing as well. They might start asking questions about where this renewed energy and enthusiasm are coming from. They could even teasingly, or perhaps not so teasingly, beg you to stop, simply because they can't keep pace. I'm referring to adding a single teaspoon of a strong, concentrated component to your warm morning beverage. This isn't some pharmaceutical shortcut. This is a return to ancient knowledge paired with modern science, focusing on the main drivers of aging masculinity, fading energy, hormonal dullness, and slipping motivation. And I'm not offering only one option. I have 3 distinct 1 teaspoon answers, each addressing a slightly different dimension of male vitality, from pure hormonal strength to deep, lasting endurance. So, grab your preferred mug. Let's discuss the secret that could have your partner wondering, what exactly is in that tea? Before we reach the solution, we need to recognize the starting point. Most men over 50, even those who work out and attempt to eat sensibly, begin their morning in a mild state of hormonal and metabolic imbalance. This isn't a weakness on your end. It's simply the reality of our modern routine and the aging path. When you awaken, your cortisol, your primary stress hormone, sits naturally at its highest level. That surge is expected. It's what delivers that first spark to rise from bed. But here's the challenge. If your rest was insufficient, or if you're coping with chronic low-grade stress from career, finances, or household duties, that cortisol remains elevated too long. Persistently high cortisol directly restricts your available testosterone and prematurely depletes your energy supplies before you even leave the house. Additionally, your digestive tract has been mostly inactive all night. Your metabolism slows and it needs a clean, potent signal to wake up. And what do most men reach for? They gulp a strong cup of coffee, which delivers a quick, harsh jolt that can strain the adrenals further. Or they sip a plain cup of tea that, while calming, does practically nothing beyond warming the hands and supplying minor hydration. What you truly need is a purposeful beginning, a morning habit that provides 3 essential benefits. 1. Hormonal balance. Something that softly counters that extra morning cortisol and directly assists in the creation and use of vital male hormones. 2. Metabolic ignition. A substance that signals your system it's time to activate fat burning, steady blood sugar, and manage energy correctly. Are you finding these insights useful? Type 1 if they're helping, or 0 if you'd like me to cover something else. Your feedback guides what I explain next. 3. Enduring energy. Not the edgy, crash and burn impact of high caffeine, but a smooth, steady flow of stamina and mental clarity that carries you through the afternoon dip. The solutions I'm about to share all achieve this through the ease of a single teaspoon stirred right into your hot drink. If your main aim is to rekindle hormonal strength, enhance mood, and address that sense of feeling constantly dull or missing spark, your 1 teaspoon fix is maca root powder. Maca is an exceptional root plant native to the high-altitude Andes Mountains of Peru, a region where only the toughest life endures. It's often nicknamed Peruvian ginseng, and it's been relied upon for centuries by local people for vitality and fertility. It's classified as an adaptogen, a special group of herbs and plants that assist the body in naturally adapting to physical and emotional stress. Here's why maca is so powerfully effective for men. It doesn't contain hormones itself, yet it functions as a signal balancer on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal system, the master control network for stress and hormone regulation in the brain. By helping stabilize the stress reaction, maca indirectly aids your body's capacity to create and correctly utilize its own hormones, chiefly testosterone, as well as precursors like DHEA. More importantly, men regularly report a significant and quick increase in libido and sexual enthusiasm when consuming maca consistently. It works as a potent, non-stimulant aphrodisiac, heightening desire and drive without causing the jittery, artificial buzz of chemical enhancers. I advise choosing the gelatinized maca powder, the refined form. This process removes the starch, making it notably simpler to digest and absorb than the raw variety. Just take 1 even teaspoon, mix it into your warm morning tea, black tea, herbal tea, either works, and drink it fully. It offers a mildly earthy, sometimes pleasant caramel-like flavor that blends unexpectedly well. The effect is gentle at first, often taking a week or 2 of regular use to appear completely. But once it does, men frequently report awakening with more spontaneous vitality, sharper focus, and yes, that undeniable youthful drive returning. This is usually the ingredient that makes your partner say, "What's gotten into you lately?" Because the changes are clearly visible in your mood, your energy, and your intimate readiness. If your main concern is chronic anxiety, restless sleep, and a general absence of vitality, that annoying sense that you simply can't recover or handle stress the way you used to, your ideal 1 teaspoon answer is ashwagandha root powder. Ashwagandha is a traditional Ayurvedic tonic defined as a rasayana, or rejuvenating agent. Its name loosely translates to smell of the horse, symbolizing that it was thought to bestow the endurance, power, and stamina of a horse. Like maca, it's a strong adaptogen, but its key role focuses more precisely on reducing tension and encouraging a deep, grounded calm. While maca is the spark and motivator, ashwagandha is the harmonizer and stabilizer. It directly tackles and lowers chronically high cortisol levels. Modern men are consistently tense, and I mean non-stop, from the moment the phone buzzes until the instant their head meets the pillow. Their sympathetic nervous system stays in constant overdrive. This situation drains energy stores, interferes with hormonal activity, and blocks the restorative processes the body needs. Using just 1 teaspoon of premium ashwagandha in your morning tea helps ease the sharp, harmful edge of that early cortisol rise. It doesn't knock you out, it simply makes you more adaptable and resilient to the unavoidable pressures you'll encounter throughout the day. Picture it as installing an advanced shock absorber on your entire nervous system. For men, this leads to major, life-altering progress. Reduced cortisol brings a steadier, more balanced mood, significantly less anxiety, and an improved capacity to think clearly and calmly under demand. Additionally, steady cortisol reduction over a few months builds the optimal, relaxed hormonal setting required for long-term support of natural testosterone output. It essentially prevents your body from wasting valuable energy on subtle tension and redirects that energy toward muscle growth, repair, and sharp mental function. Now, the key challenge with ashwagandha is the taste. It can be rather bitter, earthy, and strong. I suggest mixing it into a bold flavored tea, maybe one with spices like cardamom or turmeric, and certainly with a touch of raw honey or pure maple syrup to soften the flavor profile. If your main struggle isn't hormonal fatigue or chronic stress, but instead metabolic slowdown, that creeping buildup of belly weight, fluctuating stamina, and the well-known mid-afternoon energy crash, your 1 teaspoon answer is the humble yet potent cinnamon powder. We're not talking about any random cinnamon. We're referring to premium Ceylon cinnamon, also called true cinnamon, better than the common cassia type for daily use because of its lower coumarin content. Cinnamon is an incredible, naturally occurring metabolic ignition enhancer. Its main strength lies in its ability to greatly boost your body's sensitivity to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that transports blood sugar into your cells to use as energy. As men age, particularly with added belly fat, they often experience a level of insulin resistance. That means your cells begin ignoring insulin's message, leading to high blood sugar surges, energy dips, and the unfortunate storage of excess sugar as fat, especially near the abdomen. Adding a single teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to your morning tea actively helps stabilize blood sugar levels from the very start of your day. It assists your cells in becoming more responsive to insulin, essentially normalizing your body's energy rhythm. The benefits are both instant and cumulative. Improved blood sugar regulation brings consistent energy, no more intense highs and lows, just a smooth, reliable current that carries into the evening. Reduced cravings. When your glucose remains steady, those persistent mid-morning or mid-afternoon desires for sweets or snacks disappear. Weight management. By improving insulin sensitivity, you enable your body to better access stored fat for energy, helping reduce that stubborn belly padding. The beauty of cinnamon is that it's tasty and mixes seamlessly with any black tea, chai, or even plain warm water with lemon. It's a powerful daily ritual that tastes wonderful and immediately tackles the core metabolic challenges behind decreasing energy in men over 50. The reason these easy 1 teaspoon methods work so remarkably isn't just the ingredient's potency, it's the influence of the habit itself. By consciously deciding to add this single, purposeful element to your morning pattern, you're taking a strong, proactive step toward your wellness before the day's chaos begins. This action reinforces a sense of control, structure, and mindful self-care, something often forgotten in a hectic life. Keep in mind, the body of a man past 50 reacts best to steadiness, not intensity. You're aiming for a gentle, daily push in the right direction, not a dramatic, short-lived overhaul. Try alternating these choices depending on your current needs. If you've got a stressful week or feel worn out, use ashwagandha for endurance. If your mood feels low and your energy lacks fire, choose maca for drive. If you're concentrating on fat loss and maintaining balanced energy, make cinnamon your everyday foundation. Select one of these 1 teaspoon secrets, commit to it for a full 3 weeks, and notice the transformation. You'll sense a quiet yet powerful shift within, greater calm, better energy, and a renewed sense of masculine strength. And when your partner spots the difference, When they see that confident energy returning, that clarity, that spark, and they start playfully asking you to slow down, you'll realize the magic lies in that single, mindful teaspoon in your morning cup. Thank you for watching. If you found this content useful, please tap that like button, subscribe for more insights on health and vitality, and share this video with a friend who could use an extra boost in his mornings. Drop a comment below. Which 1 teaspoon technique will you begin with today? I'm Dr. Girag Mihai, and I'll see you soon.